In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 verbs that you thought you knew. I'm going to show you 5 verbs that you may not have known that they're used in this case, and they can be turned into ed and ing adjectives. Your 5 new verbs are touch, move, horrify, please, concern. You may be thinking, I know some of those already. Jesse, those are very basic. Just wait. Let's start with touch. Of course, we all know touch. Like if you can touch the screen, touch my finger. If you can reach out and touch the screen, if you can touch my fingers, I will send the power from my mind, my English speaking mind, my native tongue. And if you just touch the screen and send me money, you too can speak like a native speaker. Well, just kidding. But touch also has a different meaning. Touch can mean like emotional touch. It touched my heart. It touched my heart, meaning it made me emotional, right? It was either motivating or sad or inspiring or gave me some strong emotion that made me really feel something. It touched me. That speech was very touching. It made me cry. What? I'm sensitive. Because I heard of her experiences. I saw a TED Talk, and I forget the name. If you search it online, you'll find it, no problem. It was from a woman who escaped as a child from North Korea. I think she escaped when she was 8 years old or 12 years old, and I think she led some refugees from North Korea. And if she didn't lead others, she left alone. But a 12-year-old girl leaving North Korea through China at the risk of being caught, at the risk of starving to death, of dying by natural causes, or being caught and imprisoned or even worse. Risking everything to leave North Korea, and now she's in the free world. She went down to South Korea, I think, and now she's living in the United States. It was called My Escape from North Korea, and her name is Hyun-Seo Lee. So look that up when you have a chance. But she gave a very touching TED Talk, and you can search that. Her speech, her talk about her story, about her journey, was very touching. How would we change that sentence to be able to use touched? I was very touched. I was very touched. It's my emotion. It's the emotion of the subject. I was very touched when I saw that TED Talk, when I saw her speech, when I heard her story. I was very touched. I was also very moved. Those mean very similar things. If you're touched, if you're moved, they kind of mean the same thing. Again, with the speech, with that TED Talk, I was very moved. The speech was very moving. I was moved. I was moved, her speech. I was moved, her speech. What word would you put there? Did you say by? I was very moved by her speech. I was very moved by her speech. That's a good explanation right there. And it's true. Horrify. That's a That's a word maybe you knew, maybe you didn't, maybe you knew a different form of the word. Horrify. If we have a scary movie like Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Hills Have Eyes, any of these bloody, scary movies, we call those horror movies. Horror movies. And don't forget to add the second in horror. They're not horror movies. Horror movies are different. Horror movies. Horror movies. The horror in the adjective horror, not the noun, that's a form of horrify. Horrify being the verb. That film horrified me. That news horrified me. I watched that documentary of Jeffrey Dahmer and it horrified me. Jeffrey Dahmer was an infamous serial killer in the United States. He would kill his victims and then eat them. Pretty horrifying. It's kind of like scary, but even more. So let's say that documentary of Jeffrey Dahmer. It's the situation, it's the cause of the emotion. So the Jeffrey Dahmer documentary was horrifying. How can we use it here? I was horrified by that documentary. I was horrified by it. Horrify. Horrify. It is horrifying. You are horrified to hear that. Please. Please is a verb? Yes. Please is a verb. There are some familiar words that you may know that come from the word please. Things like pleasure. Pleasure would be in the word family. Pleasant. Pleasant would be in the word family. So the idea of please, it's not like, can I have a glass of water, please? That's not the same please, but the word please, that comes with pleasant, pleasure. This please means to make somebody feel good. To make you feel good, to make you happy, to make you content. Please. So everyone, or most children, like to do things to make their parents happy. They love to see their parents smile and laugh about something they did. Children instinctively like to please their parents. Children instinctively like to please their parents. Maybe if they're a little older, maybe they tried cleaning something. Or maybe they want to help you with something. Children like to please their parents, right? So, a situation, if you do something nice for me, oh wow, I'm so pleased. Thank you. I'm so pleased. Also, concern. Concerned is similar to worry, but a little less. If worry is here, concern is a little bit under worry. It's not quite as much. It's kind of on the way to worry. So if you feel fine, you hear some news, then you're a little concerned, you hear more bad news, now you're worried. You are worried. You are concerned. You are worried. Either way, we're using the ed because you are. What if we use the ing? How would we use that? It was very concerning to hear that news. Okay, so these are some ways that you can use the ed and ing to change a verb into an adjective. And I would write these 5 verbs down so you can be familiar with them, because especially if you didn't know them before. Language Galaxy on Facebook, Twitter, Jesse_Galaxy. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.